Would you like to live in a city that floats on water? Would you like the hot air heat up that summer? Would you like to see polar bear driving to extinction? And finally, would you like to live in a water balloon where sea levels continue to rise as ice sheets melt due to the greenhouse effect? Protect our home. Let the Earth stay young forever. Scientists have been discussing and studying human-induced global warming for decades. So what are the effects of global warming? How can we slow down global warming? We call on everyone to pay attention to global warming and call on more people to protect our homes. Let's keep watching the content to learn more. On November 9, 2021, Simon Coffey, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Tuvalu, delivered a speech in the state below the knee. The country is said to be more vulnerable to climate change than countries in the Northern Hemisphere. By the end of the 21st century, Tuvalu as a country may be sinking and some people have moved to New Zealand. To convey a sense of crisis to the country's government and people, Simon Coffey wrote his trousers above his knees and stood before the rostrum in the sea, appealing to leaders. Global warming will pollute the air and water, trigger more flood-related events, threaten the human food supply, create millions of environmental refugees, and stress or even collapse many ecosystems that clean air and water. Humans emit too much greenhouse gases and absorb too much heat, making the Earth's atmosphere hotter and hotter. If nothing is done, polar bears could disappear from the face of the Earth in the 21st century. Polar bears aren't the only victims of melted Arctic ice caps. The vast ocean surface absorbs more and more heat from the sun, causing the ocean to expand and sea levels to rise. The impact will be felt around the world. Let's watch the interview with the reporter and the meteorological expert below.
Hello and welcome to MX News Live coverage of Li Yuan, an expert at the Meteorological Bureau. I'm the reporter Ma Zhaoyang for this interview. I have the following three proposals. First, I wanna through this interview with weather expert to popularize the problem of global warming. Let more people to know what is global warming, and this problem will be the damage to the earth, and let everyone know how to protect the earth. Secondly, through this interview, the seriousness of global warming has been brought to our attention. Finally, I would like to call on you to protect the earth from small things around you. Let's go now to meteorologist. Hello, I'm the reporter Ma Zhaoyang. Now I have a few questions for you. The first one, please give a brief background on global warming.
Various places which with a general trend of a long and continuous slow increase in their respective efforts to analyze the diversity of causality. The scientific and technological community achieved a certain degree of consensus, but failed to develop a complete consensus. Hypotheses and inferences. The private view is that the various industrial and social activities of mankind emit a large amount of greenhouse gases, with annual emissions exceeding the annual consumptions of such gases, breaking the dynamic equilibrium.
Question 2, main and secondary causes of global warming.
For this problem, the massive use of fossil fuels by humans over the past century have resulted in the emission of large amount of various greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide. Since these greenhouse gases are highly transmissive to visible light from the sun and highly absorptive to long-wave radiation reflected from the Earth, which is often referred to as the greenhouse effect, global warming has resulted.
Question 3, the
About the development of global warming in recent years, on a large macro level, the real situation is that the trend of global warming is becoming more and more obvious.
Question 4. Harm of global warming to mankind.
The consequence of global warming will lead to the redistribution of global participation, the melting of glaciers and permafrost, sea level rise, which will provide air and ocean momentum to form mega typhoon, tsunamis, and the other disasters. The number of disasters is increased year by year, and in short, in the end, it can directly cause terrible harms to the human living environment.
Question 5. Since global warming, why is a cold wave coming?
It's not only reflected in the increase of the average temperature, but also in the significant increase of the magnitude of our weather change. It will be warmer when it's warm and cooler when it's cold. Although on average it looks like a warming characteristic, at the same time, the change also has obviously regional characteristics. According to many relevant studies, in the context of global warming, the number of strong cooling events in the northern regions is increasing significantly. So this time, there is a cold wave coming strong cooling process, and the trend of global warming is not contradictory.
Question 6. How to alleviate global warming?
To improve energy utilization technology and energy utilization efficiency, which is term reduce the use of coal, oil, and natural gas, and reduce carbon dioxide emissions, adopting new energy resource. Through the afforestation, forests can play an important role in absorbing and fixing carbon dioxide.
Finally, I would like to thank you for taking time out of your business schedule to accept my interview and give us some popular knowledge about global warming.
Next, the speech of the government publicity representative will be broadcast.
Hello everyone, my name is Tie Wan-yu. As a government publicity representative for global warming, firstly, we should awareness on global warming is serious and remind us to be changed. Global warming has caused serious consequences and impact on society, such as sea level rise, frequent storms, and economic impact. So, it is absolutely necessary for the government to do something about it. First, strengthen the construction of the rule of law and strategic planning and formulate laws specifically to deal with climate change. Second, strengthen scientific and technological innovation, develop new energy and promote sustainable development. Then, formulate countermeasures to protect forests and large-scale afforestation. Last, the global warming crisis calls for global cooperation to govern the environment. Finally, the suppression of global warming is urgent and requires the active response and the cooperation of the government and people.
Next, the speech of the representative of citizen advocacy will be broadcast.
Hello everyone, my name is Martin. As a citizen advocacy representative, the impact of climate change on human beings knows no national boundaries. Whether we are rich or poor, each of us is equally vulnerable to climate change. In the fight against climate change, is very important for the government, individuals, and the social organizations to work together. Each of us is a villager in the global village. As long as we turn off the lights for 1 hour, we can make practical contributions to reducing carbon emissions and changing for the future of the Earth. The Earth Hour aims to make people all over the world aware of the threats posed by climate change and make us realize how profound an individual action will bring to our living environment. Citizens call for the measures to mitigate climate change. The first, improve the energy structure and develop renewable energy. Second, improve energy efficiency and reduce emissions. Third, save energy and advocate low carbon consumption. Fourth, planting trees and increasing carbon sinks.